Chosen one, hear this clearly. Heaven has just called your name, and you've been chosen for something far beyond what you could have ever imagined. This moment is unlike any other. The divine has pulled you aside, set you apart from the noise and distractions of the world, and moved your name into a private space just for you. This is not by accident. It is a deliberate, intentional act of selection. God has cleared the room, removed all distractions, and now, in this quiet, sacred moment, only you remain. The world fades into the background, and what is about to unfold is for your ears alone. Heaven is about to speak to you in a way that is deeply personal, intimate, and life-altering. In this moment, you are invited to leave behind the crowded spaces, the noise that constantly bombards your mind, and the expectations that weigh on your shoulders. The busyness of life can often drown out the still, small voice of God. But now, He has called you into this quiet place to speak directly to you without interference. It's a moment where His voice can be heard clearly, untainted by the chaos and noise of the outside world. As you sit in this sacred space, everything else, every worry, every distraction, every concern fades away. There is nothing left but you and God, and He is preparing to share something profound, something life-changing, something that can only be spoken in the silence of His presence. This transition from the noise of the world to the stillness of God's presence is not simply about isolation, it's about insulation. You are being drawn into a space where your heart and spirit can be shielded from the distractions and pressures that often pull you in a million directions. It is a divine moment meant to strengthen you, to refine you, and to prepare you for the divine assignment that lies ahead. God is not isolating you out of punishment, but He is separating you to prepare you to cultivate within you the strength, wisdom, and focus you will need for the calling He has placed on your life. In this private space, you are not alone in the sense of being abandoned. You are alone in the sense of being deliberately set apart for something sacred, something holy, and something that will shape your destiny. In this sacred space, God will give you the opportunity for personal reflection. This is a time to reflect on your journey, to look back at the ways in which He has shaped your life, and to recognize the divine threads that have woven you into the person you are today. It's a moment of clarity where you can see how each experience, each challenge, each joy has brought you closer to your purpose. The noise of the world often clouds this reflection, preventing you from seeing the bigger picture. But in this quiet place, God allows you to pause, to look inward, and to see your life through His eyes. It is a moment to pause and listen deeply to hear what God wants to say to you, what He has been trying to communicate all along. The invitation to this private space is not just about being removed from the world. It's about being ready to receive what God has to say. It's a moment of readiness, a time when your heart can truly be open to hear the divine instructions that are coming your way. God is not calling you into this space just to retreat from the world. He is calling you into it because there are things He wants to speak into your life that can only be understood when you are truly still, when you are not caught up in the rush of life. This moment is about preparing you for something greater. It is a time to align your heart, your mind, and your spirit with the divine purpose that God has set for you. When you emerge from this sacred space, you will do so with a renewed sense of clarity, purpose, and divine direction. In a world full of noise and distractions, the invitation to enter this sacred private space is an act of grace. God is giving you the gift of time, time to focus, time to listen, and time to be transformed. He is not calling you into this space to isolate you from the world, but to insulate you from the things that are not of Him. This is a time for you to be protected, to be surrounded by His presence, and to be strengthened in a way that will allow you to face whatever lies ahead with the full confidence that He is with you. It is a divine preparation for the assignments He has ahead for you. God's invitation to this private moment is a reminder that your life is not random. You have been called with purpose, and everything in this moment is divinely orchestrated. The noise and distractions that have filled your life have been intentionally set aside so that you can hear the voice of God clearly without confusion or distortion. This private space is where you are meant to hear the instructions that will guide you on your path, where you will receive the wisdom that will equip you to face the challenges ahead, and where you will be strengthened in ways that can only happen in the presence of God. When God calls you into this private space, it is a confirmation that He has a divine assignment for you, an assignment that will require focused dedication and unwavering trust in His plan. In this moment, there is no room for distractions. There is only the sacred time of preparation, the divine molding and shaping that is happening in your heart and spirit. God is working in this private moment to equip you for everything that lies ahead. The noise of the world will still be there when you emerge, but when you do, you will do so with a renewed sense of purpose and a deeper understanding of your calling. This private space is where you are refined, where you are built up, and where you are prepared to step into the fullness of who God has called you to be. So chosen, one, come close. Hear the call. Embrace the sacred space God has created just for you. Let the distractions fade away. Let the noise quiet, and let your spirit be open to the whisper of God's voice. This moment is yours, and it is a gift from heaven. It is the beginning of something greater, a divine preparation for everything that lies ahead. Embrace this moment, for it is a moment that will change your life forever. God's invitation to the chosen one to step into a private space is not just a physical relocation. It marks a profound shift in the spiritual journey. The transition from the public to the private signifies the beginning of a deeper, more intimate encounter with God. In the busyness of everyday life, it is easy to become distracted by the demands and noise of the world. The external world constantly competes for attention, pulling the chosen one in many directions, making it difficult to hear the still small voice of God. But in this sacred moment, God is calling the chosen one to step away from the clamor and into a private space where His voice can be heard clearly and without interference. This transition is essential for the next stage of spiritual growth. The private space is not just for isolation. It is a deliberate choice by God to draw the chosen one closer, to allow them to experience intimacy and connection at a deeper level. Here, away from the noise, they can finally hear the whispers of the divine tune, into the guidance meant only for them, and allow their spirit to be recalibrated. In this private space, the chosen one is not simply withdrawn from the world out of necessity, but because it is within this seclusion that the divine can work most effectively in their life. The external distractions that demand attention are set aside, allowing a focused, sacred interaction between the chosen one and their Creator. God, in His wisdom, knows that in order to receive the guidance that is being offered, the chosen one must be free of the noise that so often clouds their perception. This is not a punishment or abandonment, but a divine invitation to deepen their understanding and to be prepared for the tasks ahead. The private space is more than just physical solitude. It is a realm where the chosen one's spirit can be nurtured and nourished. In this space, God calls them to listen, not just with their ears, but with their hearts. It is here that they can hear the whispers of the divine, soft but powerful, full of wisdom and clarity. It is easy to overlook the subtleties of God's guidance in the hustle and bustle of life, but in the sacred quiet of this space, each whisper becomes clear. Every direction is illuminated, and the path forward is revealed. This moment of divine intimacy is where the chosen one can be fully attuned to God's will, able to discern what is of Him and what is not. In the absence of external distractions, the chosen one can focus on the stillness of their heart and the clarity of their spirit. The noise of the world often drowns out the quiet moments of reflection and divine insight. There are so many voices pulling at the chosen one, voices of doubt, expectations, societal pressures, and fears. But in the sacred space that God provides, these voices are quieted. In this space, only the truth remains. The truth of who the chosen one is, of what they are meant to do, and of how God sees them. It is here that they can shed the weight of false identities and worldly demands, embracing their true calling without hesitation or fear. When the chosen one enters this private space, they are not merely leaving the world behind. They are entering into something profoundly spiritual. God's call into privacy is a deliberate invitation to engage in divine transformation. In these moments of quiet reflection, the soul is recalibrated, realigned with the will of God. Every area of the chosen one's life that has been misaligned or influenced by outside pressures is given a chance to be restored and made whole. This process of spiritual recalibration is essential for what is to come. It ensures that the chosen one is spiritually and emotionally equipped to walk boldly into their divine assignment, fully prepared to fulfill their purpose without being swayed by external forces. This divine recalibration is not something that can happen amidst the noise and chaos of daily life. It requires the space and time to allow God to do the work that is needed. It is a time for the chosen one to reflect on their life, to examine their heart and their spirit, and to recognize any areas where they may have strayed from the divine purpose set before them. It is a moment to recalibrate their mindset and align it with God's truth, rather than the lies that have been fed by the world. The private space offers the clarity needed to see beyond the surface, beyond the distractions, and into the deeper spiritual truths that God desires to reveal. This moment is not only about listening to God, but also about opening the heart to receive what is being offered: guidance, wisdom, love, and reassurance. While the private space is about receiving it, is also about transformation. As God speaks to the chosen one in the sacred space, He is not just providing answers or instructions. He is shaping their heart, molding their spirit, and preparing them for what is ahead. The divine work that takes place in this moment is profound, deep, and personal. It is in these quiet moments that the chosen one can fully embrace the love and power of God, letting go of the burdens they have carried, and embracing the strength that comes from alignment with divine purpose. The transformation that occurs here is foundational for what will unfold in the chosen one's life. Without this time of recalibration, the next steps of their journey would be difficult to navigate. But in this sacred space, God equips them with everything they need to move forward confidently and with clarity. It is also in this sacred moment that the chosen one learns to listen not only to God, but also to their own spirit. In the silence, the truth of their own heart is revealed. They begin to understand themselves at a deeper level, free from the noise of external influences. They come to know their true desires, their true calling, and the unique gifts that God has placed within them. This moment of private intimacy with God is about getting to the heart of who they are and stepping into that identity fully. God does not call them into this space to confuse them, but to strengthen their resolve and confirm their purpose. It is a moment of spiritual clarity that removes the layers of confusion and uncertainty that have often clouded their judgment. When the chosen one comes into this private space, they are not just receiving clarity, they are being refined. This sacred moment is a moment of personal growth where they can shed old patterns, doubts, and insecurities. God is working to remove anything that does not serve their divine purpose, purging the mind and spirit of distractions, fear, and worldly attachments. This process of refinement is necessary because the path ahead will require clarity, strength, and focus. The private space serves as a preparation ground for the greater work that lies ahead. In this space, the chosen one is not only called to listen, but to be transformed, to be made ready for the divine assignment that is waiting for them. The divine invitation to this private space is not one to take lightly. It is a sacred opportunity to grow, to be aligned, and to receive everything needed for the divine purpose ahead. This time in the quiet presence of God is not just for personal reflection. It is a time of deep spiritual work that shapes and prepares the chosen one for everything that is to come. They are being prepared to walk into their purpose with boldness, confidence, and clarity, fully equipped to face whatever challenges come their way. In this sacred moment, they are not alone. God is with them, guiding, refining, and preparing them for the divine work that will unfold in the world. In the private space, distractions are not only eliminated, but are actively resisted. This moment calls for stillness and attentiveness, as distractions can be dangerous in this sacred space. In order to hear God's whispers, the chosen one must be completely present and receptive to his voice. Stillness is not just about physical quiet. It is about quieting the mind, the emotions, and the spirit. It's about setting aside the worries, the distractions, and the constant internal noise that often drowns out the voice of God. Stillness is required for clarity. Without it, the divine guidance will remain obscured, lost in the sea of noise and confusion. This time, in the private space, is meant to allow the chosen one to sit in silence, to clear away the distractions that have built up over time, and to focus entirely on God. It is in this stillness that they will find clarity, understanding, and direction. It is in the absence of distraction that they can truly hear what God wants to say. And it is through this attentiveness that their heart will be aligned with His will. In this sacred moment, stillness becomes more than just a passive act. It is a dynamic, intentional choice to create space for God to speak. The chosen one must actively clear away the clutter of their mind, their emotions, and their spirit. The noise of the world can often cloud the clarity needed to hear God's whispers, and the internal chaos that comes from unaddressed worries, doubts, and fears can easily drown out His voice. But in the private space, the chosen one is called to silence not just their surroundings, but also their inner world. This is not a silence that simply removes external distractions. It is a deeper silence, one that seeks to quiet the fears, anxieties, and uncertainties that swirl within. The act of quieting oneself in this way is essential because it opens up the channels of communication between the chosen one and God. When the mind is cluttered with worries about the past or the future, it is difficult to hear the present moment's divine message. Stillness clears the mental fog, allowing the chosen one to become fully present with God. It allows the spirit to be receptive, not only to hear, but to understand what God is communicating. This is not a moment to rush or hurry, but a moment to sit patiently and listen, knowing that in God's time, His voice will be made clear. Stillness is a powerful tool of alignment. In the absence of distractions, the chosen one can begin to align their heart and mind with God's will. This alignment is critical because without it, any guidance received may be lost in the chaos of personal desires, external opinions, or fleeting emotions. In this stillness, the chosen one can surrender their own agenda, fears, and ambitions to the divine, allowing God's truth to take precedence. It is in this space of vulnerability and openness that clarity arises. In the quiet, the divine plan becomes clearer, and the direction for the future comes into focus. The distractions that once seemed so pressing begin to lose their power, and what once seemed unclear becomes undeniable. But stillness does not just provide clarity, it also provides understanding. In the stillness of the private space, the chosen one can not only hear God's voice, but also grasp the deeper meaning of what He is saying. The divine message is not always straightforward. It requires discernment and reflection. Stillness allows the chosen one to dive deeper into God's wisdom, to unpack His words, and find the layers of meaning that are essential for their journey. It is in this quiet time of reflection that understanding begins to unfold, that the heart and mind begin to connect the dots of God's plan. Moreover, stillness offers a unique opportunity for surrender. In the rush of daily life, it's easy for the chosen one to hold on to their own control, to try to shape their life according to their own desires and expectations. But in this sacred space, there's no room for control. Stillness is a surrender of the will, a letting go of the need to figure everything out, and allowing God to guide every step. It is a moment of profound trust where the chosen one hands over their life to God, knowing that His plan is far greater than anything they could have imagined. As distractions are cleared away, the chosen one begins to realize that the true source of their peace and clarity comes not from external circumstances, but from God's presence alone. The external world may continue to spin with chaos, but within the private space, there is an unwavering sense of peace. This peace is the foundation for everything that will follow. It is in this stillness that the chosen one is able to receive divine guidance with confidence, to understand God's direction with clarity, and to be equipped for the next steps on their journey. The stillness is not just a place of receiving, it is a place of preparation. God uses the quiet space to equip the chosen one for what lies ahead. In this sacred time, God provides the tools of wisdom, discernment, and peace that will carry them through the challenges that are to come. The stillness allows God to strengthen the chosen one's spirit, to build resilience and fortitude for the battles ahead. Without this time of quiet preparation, the chosen one may feel unprepared or uncertain when faced with difficult circumstances. But in the privacy of this space, God is fortifying their spirit, preparing them to step into their divine assignment with courage and confidence. This time of stillness also fosters deep intimacy with God. In the absence of distractions, the chosen one can experience the closeness of God's presence in a way that is unparalleled. It is in the silence that the heart is able to connect with God on a soul-deep level, feeling His love, His guidance, and His strength more intensely. This intimacy is the bedrock of the chosen one's relationship with God. It is not based on performance or productivity, but on being fully present with the divine, open, and vulnerable, ready to receive everything that God has for them. As the chosen one sits in the stillness of this private space, they are reminded that their purpose is not to rush, not to chase after the noise of the world, but to live in alignment with God's timing. This is a crucial lesson. The chosen one is not meant to force things to happen, to strive for success or achievement in the way the world defines it. Instead, they are called to move with divine timing, trusting that God's plan will unfold in the perfect moment. The quiet space is a place where this truth can sink in, where the chosen one can release their own pressure to succeed, and instead focus on what God has already planned. In this sacred time of stillness, God refines the chosen one's identity. As distractions are removed, they can more clearly hear God's affirmations of who they are and the unique purpose they carry. The stillness allows them to shed the voices of self-doubt and insecurity that often arise in the noise of daily life. In the quiet, God whispers the truth of who they are, beloved, chosen, equipped, and this truth becomes the foundation upon which they build the rest of their journey. The stillness is where they come to understand that their worth is not found in what they do, but in who they are in God's eyes. Ultimately, this time in stillness is a gift. It is a divine opportunity to step away from the noise, to listen deeply to God's voice, and to receive the wisdom and guidance that will sustain them on their journey. It is in this quiet, sacred space that the chosen one will find clarity, strength, and purpose for the next season of their life. The distractions that once seemed so overwhelming will fade away, and the whispers of God's voice will become the loudest sound, guiding them into their divine destiny. This divine invitation into privacy is not a punishment or a sign of rejection. It is an incredible opportunity for personal growth, in alignment with God's will. When God draws the chosen one into a private space, it is not to isolate or punish them, but to refine and strengthen them. This time is necessary for spiritual growth, as it offers the chance to deepen one's relationship with God, to grow in faith, and to align more closely with divine purpose. In this sacred space, God is working in the chosen one's life, removing external noise and refining their character, preparing them for the next steps in their spiritual journey. This private moment is where God does the deep work of aligning the chosen one's heart, mind, and spirit with his greater plan. The chosen one may feel like they are hidden away from the world, but in truth, they are being prepared for something greater. In this time of privacy, God's refining work is allowing them to become who they were always meant to be, preparing them to step into their divine calling with clarity, confidence, and purpose. The invitation to come closer is not something to fear or resist. It is a gift, an opportunity for growth and divine alignment that will shape their destiny in profound ways. In this divine invitation to privacy, God's intent is not to isolate the chosen one from the world, but to draw them closer to himself. It is not a punishment, but a sacred opportunity to create a space where growth can occur without the distractions and pressures of the external world. This is a moment of divine refinement where the chosen one's heart, mind, and spirit are being prepared for a greater purpose. God, in his wisdom, knows that personal growth requires time, focus, and an intimate connection with him. In the hustle and bustle of life, it is often difficult to hear his voice clearly, to discern his guidance in the midst of all the noise. But in this private space, the distractions are silenced, and the chosen one is given the chance to truly connect with their Creator, to hear the divine whispers that will shape their future. This private time with God is not a solitary confinement. It is a space of divine nurturing, where the chosen one is allowed to grow in faith, deepen their relationship with God, and align more closely with his will. In the stillness, there is no rush, no expectations, just a quiet time to be present with God. This time is necessary for spiritual growth because it allows the chosen one to truly seek God's presence without the interference of outside voices. This is the moment when God does the deep work of refining their character, purging them of distractions, insecurities, and self-doubt. In this sacred space, the chosen one is invited to lay down their own understanding and allow God to shape them according to his divine plan. It is in this private moment that the chosen one can surrender fully to God, trusting that his purpose for them is greater than anything they could have ever imagined. During this time, God is not just preparing the chosen one for what lies ahead. He is shaping them into the person they were always meant to be. This process of refinement is not always comfortable. It requires the shedding of old habits, mindsets, and desires that no longer serve their divine purpose. But it is through this process that the chosen one becomes more aligned with their true calling. The distractions that once clouded their vision will begin to fade, and their heart will become more attuned to the voice of God. The private space is where God is preparing them for the next steps in their spiritual journey, aligning their heart, mind, and spirit with his greater plan. It is in this time of quiet and solitude that the chosen one is strengthened, not just for their own growth, but for the greater purpose they are meant to fulfill. Though it may feel like they are hidden away from the world, the truth is that they are not being forgotten. This time, in private, is a divine preparation for something far greater than they can currently see. God is working in this space to refine them, to remove distractions, and to prepare them for the next season of their life. It is in the solitude that their purpose becomes clearer and their identity is solidified. The chosen one may not fully understand the reasons for their isolation, but they are being prepared in ways they may not yet comprehend. This time is not wasted. It is a season of intentional growth. And though it may seem like a quiet period, it is one of the most profound and significant seasons of spiritual formation. As God works within them, the chosen one will begin to realize that the invitation to come closer is not something to fear or resist. It is a precious gift, a divine opportunity for growth and alignment with God's will. The private space is a sanctuary where they can focus solely on their relationship with God, free from the noise and distractions of the world. This is a time to listen attentively, to reflect on what God is revealing, and to receive His guidance without interference. In this sacred space, God is not only preparing the chosen one for what lies ahead, but is also deeply shaping their character and spirit, making them more equipped to step into their divine calling with clarity, confidence, and purpose. God is not simply preparing the chosen one for a future task, but He is shaping them into the vessel they need to be in order to carry out that task. The divine assignment they are called to is not about what they can do on their own strength, but about being a conduit for God's will on earth. In this time of privacy, God is equipping them with the tools they need to walk boldly in their purpose. The spiritual growth they experience during this period will serve as the foundation for everything that comes next. The foundation God is building in them will allow them to withstand the challenges that will come as they step into their calling. It will give them the strength to persevere when the world tries to push them off course, and the clarity to stay aligned with God's will. As the chosen one embraces this time of divine privacy, they will begin to see it not as a period of isolation, but as a divine opportunity for preparation. The quiet time will give them the space to reflect, to heal, and to grow in a way that will allow them to fulfill their purpose with divine confidence. God is using this time to remove distractions, to build their character, and to strengthen their faith, so that when the time comes for them to step into their calling, they will be ready. In the private space, the chosen one is not just being refined for their own benefit, but is being shaped for the greater purpose that God has designed for them. This process of divine preparation is necessary because the path ahead will require everything they have learned in this season. The challenges that they will face will require the strength, wisdom, and clarity that God is building in them now. Without this time of privacy, they would not be fully equipped to carry out the divine assignment they are called to. But in this sacred space, God is preparing them for the journey ahead. And in doing so, He is ensuring that they are fully aligned with their divine purpose. This invitation into privacy is not just a time for personal growth. It is a time for the chosen one to align fully with God's will. The divine purpose they carry is too significant to be handled casually or without intentionality. The private space is where they are molded, shaped, and refined to carry that purpose with strength and grace. It is in this time of seclusion that the chosen one's true potential is unlocked, and they are prepared to step into the divine calling that God has prepared for them. When they emerge from this sacred space, they will do so with renewed confidence, clarity, and purpose, fully equipped to walk in the divine destiny God has ordained for them. The enemy's primary strategy to keep the chosen one from experiencing true intimacy with God is through distractions. These distractions are not mere inconveniences, they are deliberate attempts to derail the chosen one's spiritual growth. In the midst of the sacred moments when God is drawing them into His presence, the enemy will send distractions, doubts, and accusations in an attempt to break the connection between the chosen one and their Creator. These distractions may come in many forms: external pressures, emotional turmoil, or the overwhelming noise of everyday life. Whatever form they take, these distractions are designed to create confusion and prevent the chosen one from fully engaging with God's voice. The enemy understands that when the chosen one is distracted, they are unable to hear God clearly, and their spiritual growth stalls. The purpose of these distractions is to keep the chosen one from receiving the deep transformative guidance that can only come from a close, intimate relationship with God. It is important to recognize that these distractions are not accidental or random. They are spiritual attacks designed to keep the chosen one from stepping into their divine calling. The more significant the assignment, the greater the resistance. The enemy knows that when the chosen one remains focused on God, when they draw near to Him and stay in His presence, spiritual authority begins to grow within them. Distractions are the enemy's way of trying to prevent the development of this authority. By sowing confusion, the enemy seeks to break the chosen one's connection with God. But in reality, these distractions are confirmation that something powerful is happening in the secret place. The chosen one's focus and time with God are shaping them for something greater. Every distraction, doubt, and accusation sent their way is proof that the enemy recognizes the potential of the spiritual transformation occurring. As the chosen one presses forward in their spiritual journey, it's crucial to understand that distractions are not just minor setbacks, but strategic attempts by the enemy to weaken their connection to God and derail their purpose. These distractions come in waves, each designed to test the chosen one's resolve. The enemy knows that if the chosen one can be distracted long enough, the power of intimate connection with God will be disrupted, and the clarity of divine guidance will be muddied. The purpose of these distractions is simple but sinister: to prevent the chosen one from walking in the fullness of their divine purpose, and from receiving the clarity, strength, and spiritual authority that can only be cultivated in close communion with God. The distractions may take many forms. External pressures may intensify, relationships may become more strained or financial, and emotional turmoil may appear more intense than ever before. The noise of life, especially when there is a strong divine calling at hand, can seem almost deafening. On the inside, the chosen one may experience doubt and confusion, as if a fog has settled in their mind. The whispers of insecurity, fear, and discouragement might begin to cloud the once clear vision of what God is calling them to do. Even with a strong inner calling, the pull of worldly distractions can make it seem almost impossible to stay focused on God's voice. The enemy uses these distractions not as a minor hindrance, but as a well-calculated strategy to destabilize the chosen one's spiritual foundation. It is essential for the chosen one to recognize that these distractions are not random or a coincidence. They are spiritual warfare aimed at wearing down the chosen one's resolve and causing them to doubt the very guidance they are receiving. The enemy knows that the chosen one's intimacy with God is where true power lies. The deeper the relationship, the stronger the authority that flows from it. God's presence is the source of clarity, direction, and wisdom. When the chosen one remains in the secret place, when they press into God's presence, despite the distractions, they begin to move in spiritual authority that the enemy cannot undermine. The enemy, therefore, will do anything within its power to create obstacles, confusion, and doubt, to prevent the chosen one from fully stepping into that authority. The distractions, however, also serve as confirmation that something powerful is happening in the secret place. Each time the enemy sends confusion or doubt, it is an acknowledgement that the chosen one is moving closer to fulfilling their divine calling. The greater the resistance, the greater the divine purpose. The enemy would not waste its energy attacking something insignificant. It fights against what has the power to bring about change. When the chosen one faces a barrage of distractions, it's not a sign of weakness, but a sign that they are being prepared for something monumental. The stronger the distractions, the clearer it becomes that God is about to do something significant in and through their life. These distractions are a reminder that the enemy recognizes the power of the intimate relationship between the chosen one and God. The enemy knows that when the chosen one draws near to God, they will become a vessel of spiritual authority, wisdom, and transformation. The purpose of the enemy's attacks is not just to confuse or destabilize. It is to prevent the chosen one from fully stepping into their divine assignment. However, every distraction, every moment of doubt is actually an opportunity to deepen their resolve and strengthen their connection with God. It is through these challenges that the chosen one learns to tune out the noise and press in even more intently to God's voice. The distractions also reveal an important truth. The battle is not just about external circumstances. It is spiritual warfare that tests the chosen one's inner strength, focus, and ability to discern the voice of God in the midst of chaos. This is why it is so important to stay grounded in God's presence. Every moment spent in the secret place with God is not wasted. Every prayer, every quiet moment of reflection, every attempt to press through the distractions builds spiritual muscles that will enable the chosen one to withstand the battles ahead. It is through remaining in God's presence despite the distractions that the chosen one becomes equipped to carry out the divine work they are called to do. In this way, the distractions are not merely an obstacle to overcome, but an invitation to deepen the relationship with God. The enemy uses distractions to try to create confusion, but in doing so, it unknowingly creates an opportunity for the chosen one to grow stronger in their spiritual discipline. As the chosen one remains attentive to God's whispers, they learn to recognize His voice more clearly. The distractions may seem loud, but God's voice, once they tune in, is much more powerful. The more time they spend in the secret place, the clearer His voice becomes, and the more they are able to discern what is of Him and what is not. This time of spiritual warfare and distraction is also a period of preparation. God is using these moments to refine the chosen one, testing their ability to focus and stay aligned with His will despite external chaos. It is through this refinement that the chosen one learns to stay grounded in their faith and calling, regardless of the distractions or obstacles that may arise. The ability to remain in God's presence during these times is what builds the spiritual authority necessary for the next season of their journey. Ultimately, the distractions are not a sign that God has abandoned the chosen one, but rather a confirmation that they are on the right path. The more the enemy fights to keep them from hearing God's voice, the more they are being prepared to walk in the fullness of their purpose. God allows these distractions not to weaken them, but to strengthen them, to teach them how to fight spiritually, and to help them grow in spiritual authority. The enemy may try to distract, confuse, and derail, but the chosen one, by remaining in God's presence, becomes a force that cannot be moved. Each time they push through the distractions, they come closer to stepping into the fullness of what God has prepared for them. The distractions are a sign that spiritual transformation is taking place. They are not to be feared, but embraced as part of the process. The more the enemy fights, the closer the chosen one gets to their divine purpose. In the end, these distractions serve to confirm that the divine work God is doing in the chosen one is real, powerful, and unstoppable. While the distractions sent by the enemy may cause temporary confusion, they also highlight the divine significance of the chosen one's pursuit of intimacy with God. When the chosen one persists in drawing near to God despite these distractions, their spiritual intimacy deepens, and they begin to step into spiritual authority. The deeper the relationship with God, the clearer the purpose becomes. In the secret place, away from the world's noise, God speaks with clarity, providing the chosen one with guidance that directs their life toward their divine calling. This clarity of purpose allows them to move forward with conviction, even in the face of opposition. The more the chosen one remains steadfast in their time with God, the stronger their spiritual foundation becomes, and the clearer their role in God's plan is revealed. Spiritual intimacy is essential for this clarity. When the chosen one remains close to God, the doubts, fears, and uncertainties that plague their mind begin to dissipate. In His presence, they gain the perspective they need to see their life through God's eyes. The distractions of the world lose their power, and the chosen one is able to focus on the divine assignments laid before them. Intimacy with God creates a deep sense of purpose that cannot be shaken by the shifting winds of external circumstances. The clarity that comes from this intimacy not only equips the chosen one to navigate their own journey, but also positions them as a beacon of light and authority in the world. When God speaks, He imparts wisdom and direction that will resonate in their spirit, guiding them step by step toward fulfilling their divine purpose. As the chosen one continues to press into their relationship with God, they begin to see that the pursuit of intimacy with Him is the key to unlocking clarity and purpose. In the secret place, God's voice becomes clearer, more distinct, and His guidance more precise. The noise of the world fades into the background, and the chosen one's spiritual ears become tuned to God's frequency. This sacred space allows them to hear God's instructions and directions, not just for the present moment, but for the entire trajectory of their life. It is here, in this intimate space with God, that the chosen one receives the divine wisdom necessary to navigate their calling with confidence and conviction. The clarity of purpose that comes from spiritual intimacy serves as a compass, guiding the chosen one through life's challenges and uncertainties. When faced with opposition, distractions, or difficulties, the clarity derived from God's presence gives them the strength to move forward with unwavering determination. It provides them with the discernment to recognize what is in alignment with God's will and what is not. As they grow in their spiritual intimacy, their conviction grows stronger, and they can stand firm in their divine purpose, undeterred by the noise or opposition around them. This deeper intimacy with God is the bedrock of spiritual authority. The chosen one's ability to remain in God's presence despite the distractions and attacks from the enemy strengthens their spiritual foundation. It is this foundation that gives them the authority to speak with power and to act with confidence, knowing that they are aligned with God's will. As they step into their divine calling, they carry with them the authority that comes from a close and intimate relationship with the Creator. This authority is not something they have to strive for. It flows naturally from their time spent in God's presence, from the wisdom and clarity they have received, and from the deep trust they have built with Him. Spiritual intimacy also brings about transformation in the chosen one's life. It changes how they perceive themselves, how they see the world, and how they respond to life's challenges. In God's presence, the chosen one begins to see themselves as God sees them, equipped, called, and empowered to fulfill their divine purpose. This shift in perspective transforms how they approach life's obstacles. Instead of seeing challenges as insurmountable, they begin to see them as opportunities for growth and greater alignment with God's will. The doubts and fears that once plagued their mind begin to dissipate as they come to understand their true identity in God and the divine power that is at work within them. Furthermore, spiritual intimacy empowers the chosen one to lead others. As their own relationship with God deepens, they become a beacon of light to those around them. Their clarity of purpose, combined with their unwavering faith, attracts others who are seeking guidance and direction. The chosen one becomes a source of wisdom and encouragement, able to speak into the lives of others with authority and compassion. Their presence alone becomes a testimony to the power of intimacy with God. People are drawn to their example of faith and clarity, and in turn, the chosen one helps others step into their own divine purpose. This intimate connection with God is not just for personal growth, it is for the advancement of God's kingdom on earth. The chosen one is called to be a vessel of His wisdom, love, and power. Through their spiritual intimacy, they are equipped to bring transformation to the world. Whether through their words, actions, or simply through their presence, the chosen one has the power to shift atmospheres, heal broken hearts, and guide others toward their divine purpose. Their spiritual authority, rooted in intimacy with God, positions them as leaders in the kingdom of God, capable of making an eternal impact on the world around them. As the chosen one continues to grow in intimacy with God, they will see their role in God's plan unfold more clearly. The clarity and direction they receive will guide them in every area of their life, from their personal relationships to their professional endeavors. They will begin to see how their life fits into the greater narrative of God's kingdom, and how every experience, every challenge, every victory is part of the divine purpose they are walking in. They will realize that nothing in their life is by accident. Every moment, every season is preparing them for the next step in their divine calling. In this journey of spiritual intimacy, the chosen one learns to rely not on their own strength, but on God's. They come to understand that their authority and clarity come from their connection to Him and not from their own efforts. The more they press into this relationship, the more they are transformed and empowered to carry out God's will on earth. They move forward with confidence, knowing that they are walking in alignment with the Creator of the universe, and that He will provide everything they need to fulfill their divine purpose. In the end, intimacy with God is the foundation upon which everything else is built. It is the key to unlocking the clarity, authority, and purpose that the chosen one needs to walk in their divine calling. As they continue to pursue this intimate relationship, they will experience transformation on every level, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. They will walk in the power of God's love and grace, knowing that their life is a testimony to the power of spiritual intimacy and the incredible potential that comes from being fully aligned with God's will. The battle the chosen one faces is not merely against external distractions or personal challenges. It is spiritual warfare. The enemy knows that the more the chosen one presses into intimacy with God, the more they align with their divine purpose, and the more spiritual authority they begin to walk in. This growing authority is the reason the enemy resists them so fiercely. Every attack on their time with God, every distraction that seeks to pull them away from the secret place, is a confirmation that the enemy recognizes the significance of what is happening in their life. The deeper the intimacy with God, the greater the spiritual authority and influence the chosen one will wield. The enemy understands that when the chosen one remains in God's presence, their purpose becomes clearer and their impact becomes more profound. God is using this time in the secret place to prepare the chosen one for public promotion. The battles fought in private battles against distractions, doubts, and spiritual confusion are shaping them for a greater role in God's kingdom. The secret place is where God refines their character, strengthens their faith, and deepens their relationship with Him. The spiritual warfare the chosen one faces now is not a sign of defeat, but of divine preparation for the assignment that will be revealed in the public sphere. As they grow in spiritual authority through their intimacy with God, they are being prepared to step into their calling with confidence and clarity. This private season of preparation is where the foundation for public promotion is laid. It is in the secret place that the chosen one is built up, strengthened, and readied for the divine work they are called to do. The chosen one's journey through the secret place is not one of passive waiting, but an active period of spiritual warfare that prepares them for a greater divine purpose. As they press into intimacy with God, they are undergoing a process of refinement, and every distraction or doubt that tries to pull them away from this divine connection is a sign that the enemy sees the significance of what is unfolding. The deeper the chosen one's relationship with God, the more authority they begin to walk in. This is why the enemy resists them so fiercely, because they know that the power derived from intimacy with God creates a force that cannot easily be shaken. Every attack, every spiritual assault is a confirmation that the enemy recognizes the potential that lies within the chosen one. It's a reminder that their connection with God is powerful enough to disrupt the spiritual realm. The distractions that arise, whether external circumstances or internal doubts, are not mere obstacles to be brushed aside. They are deliberate attempts by the enemy to cause confusion and disrupt the chosen one's focus. However, it is in resisting these distractions and staying anchored in the presence of God that the chosen one's spiritual authority deepens. The enemy knows that when the chosen one remains steadfast in their time with God, when they continue to draw near to Him in the secret place, their clarity of purpose becomes more defined. The more they walk in alignment with God's will, the greater their spiritual authority grows. The chosen one's life will no longer be defined by external circumstances, but by the deep understanding of their identity in Christ and the clarity of the divine calling they are meant to fulfill. It is this clarity, this unwavering commitment to God's presence, that establishes them as a spiritual leader in their own right. As the chosen one persists in their intimate connection with God, they are slowly but surely being shaped for a larger role in His kingdom. This time in the secret place is where God builds their character, strengthens their faith, and deepens their relationship with Him. The spiritual warfare they face in this private season is not a sign of defeat, but of divine preparation. The trials, temptations, and struggles they encounter are the very tools God uses to prepare them for the future work He has planned for them. These experiences, though difficult, are laying the foundation for the impact they will have when they step into the public sphere. The private season, where the chosen one faces distractions and spiritual opposition, is a sacred time of molding and refining. God uses this time to purify their heart, cleanse their spirit, and align their desires with His will. This is not just a time of waiting, but a season of active preparation. God is doing a deep work in the chosen one's life, preparing them to carry out their divine assignment with integrity, strength, and clarity. The deeper they go into this season of intimacy with God, the stronger they become, and the more equipped they are to face the challenges that lie ahead. When the time comes for the chosen one to step out of the secret place and into the public sphere, they will do so with a foundation that is unshakable. The spiritual authority they have gained in the private moments with God will not only empower them to walk in their calling with confidence, but will also enable them to face the public scrutiny, challenges, and opposition that will come. The enemy may try to attack, but the foundation laid in the secret place will be a shield that protects them from the enemy's tactics. The private season is essential for this foundation building. In the secret place, God is not only preparing the chosen one for the work they will do, but also for the people they will impact. The refining process is not just about personal growth. It is about making them a vessel that can carry the weight of God's calling and bring about change in the lives of others. The chosen one will become a beacon of light in the world, guiding others toward God's truth, healing, and love. As the chosen one grows in spiritual authority, they are being positioned to bring divine transformation to the world around them. Their time in the secret place is not just for their benefit, but for the benefit of the people they are called to serve. The private season is where they are being strengthened to carry out a mission that will impact lives in ways they may not yet fully understand. God is preparing them to lead, to guide, and to speak truth into the world with authority and clarity. The spiritual warfare the chosen one faces is not without purpose. Every challenge, every distraction, and every moment of doubt is part of God's plan to strengthen their spiritual foundation and prepare them for the task ahead. The trials they endure now are the very training that will prepare them to step into the fullness of their calling. The more they resist the distractions and remain focused on God's presence, the more spiritually mature they become, and the more equipped they are for the work that lies ahead. When the chosen one steps into their divine purpose, they will do so with a clarity and strength that has been built in the private moments with God. They will no longer be swayed by the opinions of others, by the distractions of the world, or by the fear of failure. They will walk in confidence, knowing that they have been refined and prepared for the task at hand. Their time in the secret place will have fortified their spirit, strengthened their faith, and aligned their heart with God's will, making them a powerful force for good in the world. Ultimately, the battle that the chosen one faces in the secret place is not one of defeat, but of victory. The struggles, the distractions, and the moments of doubt are all part of the process of divine preparation. As the chosen one remains faithful to God, pressing into intimacy with Him, they will emerge from this season stronger, more focused, and more equipped to fulfill their divine assignment. Their time in the secret place is not wasted. It is the very foundation upon which their future impact will be built. And when they step into the public arena, they will do so with spiritual authority, clarity, and confidence, ready to fulfill the purpose for which they were created. While the world may view isolation as a form of rejection, in the divine realm, it is seen as a sacred opportunity for selection and protection. God calls the chosen one into a season of privacy, not to abandon them, but to refine and protect them for a greater purpose. The quietness of the season allows God to draw the chosen one closer away from the distractions, noise, and expectations of the world. It is a time to be shielded from external pressures that might cause confusion or sway the chosen one from their divine path. In this place of isolation, the chosen one is enveloped in God's presence, protected from the noise that could hinder their spiritual growth. Far from a punishment this time is an act of divine love, a season of intentional preparation where the chosen one can grow stronger in their faith and relationship with God. This sacred solitude is a divine selection, a time where God is actively working in their life, building them into the person they need to be to fulfill their purpose in the world. The isolation God calls the chosen one into is not about being forgotten or sidelined. Instead, it is a time of spiritual separation where they can be made ready for the greater work God has ordained for them. It is during this period of divine seclusion that they are protected from harmful influences, distractions, and voices that might steer them off course. God uses this time to fortify the chosen one, preparing them for their calling by working in the secret place. Just as a seed must be buried in the soil and protected from the elements before it can grow into a mighty tree, the chosen one must be hidden away in the secret place to undergo the necessary spiritual cultivation. The secret place is not a prison, but a sanctuary where God's refining work takes place. It is a sacred space where the chosen one is prepared for the divine assignments ahead. In this quiet, protected space, God shapes the chosen one's character, building the foundation for the spiritual strength and maturity they will need to fulfill their purpose. The secret place is where deep healing takes place, where past wounds are addressed, and where the chosen one is aligned with God's will. It is a place where distractions are removed, and the soul can be fully focused on God's guidance and direction. In this sanctuary, the chosen one is not just receiving instruction, but being molded into the person they need to be in order to step into their divine purpose. God uses this time to prepare them to be strong in the face of opposition, grounded in their identity in Christ, and equipped to handle the responsibilities that come with their calling. The secret place is where God nurtures their faith, deepens their trust, and strengthens their character. It is during this time of preparation that the chosen one learns to rely on God alone, recognizing that their worth is not determined by external validation or the approval of others. Through God's work in the secret place, they become free from the need for external affirmation, learning to walk in the divine confidence that comes from being fully aligned with God's will. Through the time spent in privacy and solitude, the chosen one becomes free from the opinions of others. In the secret place, they are no longer dependent on the approval or validation of the world around them. This time of isolation allows them to find their true identity in Christ and to step into divine confidence, knowing that their worth is secure in God's eyes. As they grow in intimacy with God, they begin to walk in the assurance that they are fully equipped for the purpose they were created to fulfill. When the chosen one emerges from the secret place, they do so with a deep sense of confidence and clarity. The character and purpose that God has been forming in them during this private season will be revealed publicly, not for their own glory, but for God's. The work that God has done in the secret place will become evident in the public arena as the chosen one steps into their calling. The transformation that has taken place in their heart, mind, and spirit will be visible to the world, and the glory of God will shine through them. What was developed in the hiddenness of the secret place will be displayed for all to see as the chosen one fulfills their divine assignment with power, authority, and grace. Through this process, God is glorified, and the chosen one becomes a living testimony of his faithfulness, grace, and transformative power. In the secret place, the chosen one is not abandoned, but actively prepared for their divine purpose. This time of silence and stillness is essential for spiritual refinement, where God is building something powerful within them. The work done in private will be revealed in public when the time is right, and the calling of the chosen one remains secure, unfolding according to God's perfect timing. Embrace this sacred season, trusting that through prayer and spiritual discipline, you are being shaped for the next step in your divine assignment. Your purpose is being carefully crafted, ready to be manifested when God deems it time.